The average American eats over 4 pounds of potato chips each year. In 2011, Americans ate 1.5 billion pounds of potato chips. Suffice it to say, the potato chip is America's snack. But how does that thin slice of salty, crunchy, tasty beige glory end up in your mouth? This is a story to help you understand the value chain of the mighty potato chip, and how a potato is grown by a farmer, and the journey a potato takes to become a potato chip. The Shenandoah Valley and Mount Jackson, Virginia, fortunately, is the home of Route 11 potato chips.
Well, we get a lot of chip love, and this might sound weird, but I love seeing kids have temper tantrums in stores wanting a bag of Route 11. I know a lot of people, that's the thing that has made that warms my heart the most, is actually seeing people want it that much. But we get a ridiculous amount of love, and that's what keeps us, honestly, keeps us going.
All right. I think they're having problems. I need to take this. Hello? Being interviewed right now. Think about it. I'll call you here once this ordeal is over. And we are standing in a potato field that my brother Don and myself run a business we call Valley Farming, and we grow produce. And we rent river bottom land, and this is the first year for us to have potatoes on this particular piece of ground. Because of disease issues, you try and move so that you only plant every 3 years. So we felt fortunate to be able to get this piece of river bottom ground for this year. We won't have it next year. We'll go back to where we were. But 90% of what's in the field behind of me is a chipping potato. And they all go to Route 11 as long as they fry. And the difference of whether they fry or not is if the plants are stressed for any reason throughout the growing season, the nature throws sugar down into the plant to strengthen, and it makes a sugar ring in your potato. And then when they go to fried, it makes a dark ring. Disease can do the same thing on the outside of the potato, and they'll be dark around the outside.
Okay, so let's talk about potato delivery.
Will that be Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, and do you want to decide later or now how many golds you'll want?
Let's wait on the golds and then do them the next, because I think we'll have to have a load on Thursday also.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and that way then if you do dig, then bring what you have.
We won't dig again until you give us the green light.
Okay. So we'll plan on Tuesday.
Okay, we'll plan on Tuesday for a load of whites.
Okay. So we're the only ones in the United States of America right now making a Yukon Gold potato chip. And so this is a very special moment that you guys are here to capture. So the way to make a really good Yukon Gold potato chip is to get it out of the ground, into the cooker, and we've achieved that thanks to Clifford. Most people wouldn't go to the trouble to try to achieve that. This year, Clifford had an amazing crop, and we cook them up. It makes the factory smell buttery. People are waiting for them, and we go through them. They just fly out the door. We had some meltdowns because we ran out. Yeah, and so that's adults melting down. That's not pretty. It's not as cute as kids melting down. That's why we call it the gold rush. Yeah, because our customers know it's good, and they can just taste the quality. Every season is a gamble, and you just never know what you're gonna get. So we love working with Clifford, but this is where the relationship pays off. Yeah. Well, because when we get great potatoes, we're gonna make the greatest potato chip in the world.
We did.
Yeah. Yay.
An old Indian trail through the Shenandoah Valley later became Valley Pike and is now called US Route 11, where you can find Valley Pike Farm Market.
Route 11 chips, it's a perfect fit. We're on Route 11, they're on Route 11, why not carry Route 11 chips? Which is like the best potato chip in the world. And we were so blessed when we opened here. because we're Virginia-based, Virginia-driven, locally driven, and it's like, that is a perfect fit for us. Virginia company, Virginia producers, what better fit could that be? We sell an incredible number of potato chips for Route 11. In fact, we could use a cheaper potato chip, but you get what you pay for. In our meal deal at our delicatessen, every meal includes Route 11 potato chips. And we could go to a big box store and buy cheap potato chips that are a third of the size. But our philosophy is if it doesn't take that much more to be excellent than just good.
Talk about what you do from the time you plant to now.
Work. It's when you plant, after you're done planting, there's a short reprieve there where you don't really have a whole lot that's pushing, but you need to be getting set up to heal, and that consists of an attachment that's pulled with a tractor that has discs and cultivators that work the ground, and then the discs pull the earth in, the dirt in, and make the heel that you see now. And we painfully put those in. We'll take these 3 loads home, and we have a grading operation that these carts unload into the grader. We size out the real small ones, pick out rocks, any bad ones that we see, and we'll load them on the semi with a fan set up tonight to keep air circulation in there. And at daylight in the morning, they should be setting at Route 11. Challenges in the potato business are weather-related issues primarily, and disease. Water, irrigation, it's just the everyday things can be very challenging, and it can go very smoothly too. So we feel very fortunate to have our contract that we have, which it's a verbal handshake between Sarah at Route 11 and us, as far as she will take our potatoes as long as they will fry, and it's been a very working relationship.
So our sourcing has always been accidental, where people will reach out to us, and ask, do you need potatoes, or are you looking for something? And so we've always had growers around here in the valley ask us about that.
Well, I had a cousin that was there on a tour soon after she opened the plant, and he asked whether she buys local potatoes at Route 11, and she said no, but she would like to, and he said, well, maybe we need to talk. And it was several years till we really got in the swing, and the ones that we sent the one year didn't fry. We had that windstorm, derecho that came through, and it sanded the leaves off the potatoes, and they got a dark ring in every one of them when you fry them.
There's certain parameters about growing chipping potatoes that growers have to be willing to do in order to make a product that we can use. The other thing is, if it's a risk for the farmer, if they grow potatoes and the quality's not good, then we can't take them. So it's trying to figure out a relationship. It's very, very much about relationships. And every year the quality gets better, and he's growing more and more, and it's just an ongoing process of a relationship.
For us, that's the backbone of the potato business for us is Route 11 chips.
You need to be cutting edge, you need to be forward thinking, you need to think out of the box. And I think agriculture is, the people in agriculture are some of the most forward thinking, innovative people in the world. If you're going to be in agriculture, you don't just go out and grow stuff. You got to be a banker and an accountant. You got to be an HR person in order to be able to negotiate on pricing. And a lot of people look at it as a dumb old farmer. Well, it might maybe dumb like a fox, because if they're succeeding, those people are brilliant, because it takes a lot to succeed in agriculture.
Farmers need somebody like a Route 11 to process their potatoes. Otherwise, they could just rot in the field, or if they don't have a market. It's very challenging for farmers to find markets. So as a processor, they love us, because we're taking thousands of pounds at a time.
Well, when I go in any store that has Route 11 chips, I have a tendency to look over the rack, because it's just part of our operation at this time. And so yes, I definitely have an interest I pay more attention to potato chips in general than I used to, and definitely Route 11.
People appreciate the season. And so they know they can get their Yukon Golds in this 2-month window. The sweet potatoes, we have October through May, and they know that's sweet potato season. And that's fine with them. And even the stores are beginning to understand that too. And so it's easier if we wanted to market those seasonal products to stores, it's much easier to do that.
While a good relationship between the farmer and the processor is a desired value, there are other ingredients and relationships that can enhance the potato chip even more.
So my ancestor, William Dickinson, is the one that started the business in 1817. And then, so his son, grandson, great-grandson, and great-great-grandson were in the business. Then when I was growing up here, the salt production wasn't happening. But later, I just got fascinated by the early history of the Dickinson family here in the Kanawha Valley, and it was really the impetus of starting the business again, as well as meeting a new demand, a new niche market, and I felt we had a lot of opportunity there. So we have people come in all the time that say, my grandfather used to work here, or my great-great-grandfather was part of this, and he used to bring moonshine down and trade it for salt. And so it's fun to hear people's stories and how excited they get about it, and then how they're lovely to share it with their family and friends. We do not give ancestral employee discounts, there'd be too many. So we make our salt by solar evaporation. We draw the brine to the surface with a well, and then we put it in sun houses and let it evaporate and crystallize. It's about a 5 to 6 week process, very dependent on Mother Nature. Our process is slow. We've slowed it way down from what our ancestors have done because they burn timber and then coal. Yes, we could turn heaters on and make salt more quickly, but it would cost us more. And we're working toward a very low environmental footprint. Chefs love it because with a flake salt, a really thin flaky salt, it dissolves quickly, so you have to get it to the table so people can see it. With our salt, it's a little chunkier and coarser, so it holds up better on food, so you have a little leeway, and you get that nice crunch and pop of flavor.
So again, totally accidental. I met Nancy at a food show in DC, and I took her salt home and loved it. And I thought, this is, it has a magical quality to it. So when we were trying to figure out our salt and pepper chip, it was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, let's do an Appalachian salt and pepper. And it was perfect.
She called and said, hey, I've got this idea for salt and pepper potato chip. I've been working on it for several years, and I couldn't find the right salt. And then I found your packet of salt in my desk, and I tried it, and it's the answer. It's what we were looking for. So we love that relationship. And then she put our story on the bag, which is meaningful too.
It's the only flavor that I wake up thinking about in the middle of the night.
It's great to have a producer like Sarah, who really has a very long-standing, successful business, to make a choice with a product that we're making. It makes me feel like we're doing the right kind of work. And it just makes sense for, the way she sources her potatoes to have a high-quality salt, and it just works hand in hand.
So the buyers want what the consumers want. If consumers ask for it enough, the stores start asking for it, and it just goes up the chain. Our local market, this is the most important market for us, and it's where we get the most brand recognition, and the chips move the fastest. We consider ourselves the official potato chip of Virginia. We anointed ourselves that, but we have a lot of little customers across the country. The Valley and this region is incredibly important to us, and this is where we sell most of our product and where people know the brand. If anybody's going to know Route 11, it's around here. And potato chips have always traditionally been a regional product, and everybody has their regional favorite. It's something that people grow up with. And even though we've only been in business for 25 years, I've seen a lot of people that are growing up with Route 11, and that's their go-to chip, which is very exciting to have been in the business long enough to have that.
The Shenandoah Valley in Virginia is blessed, and one of the reasons that we get fantastic companies that grow like Route 11's growing is because of the quality of the people that live in this area and the work ethic that they have and the values that they exude. A lot of agriculture is supplemented by little niche markets, whether it would be with jellies, jams, honeys, whatever commodity that a farm may be able to create as a secondary source of income.
Markets evolve. People's tastes change. But it is clear that building relationships at the local level across the food value chain can be more responsive and provide better quality to customers.
Importantly is the quality of the products that we have. It's locally raised, locally grown. They're fresh products. They didn't come in on the boat from somewhere. They were just made last week up the road, maybe this week up the road.
They love hearing about what we're doing and the local, and to come to the source and see their product being made. And there's not a lot of transparency in the food industry. You know, there are a lot of labels on the shelves, but nobody knows kind of where that food is coming from.
It is so important that we spend our money in places that go back to our community.
There was a woman from Elkton, she told me she was 92. Finally, after 20 years of looking at our product, picked up a bag of dill pickled chips and liked them so much that she called, and she said that it was now one of the biggest regrets in her life that she didn't start eating the chips sooner. So that's just like one of many stories. We've heard stories of people coming out of comas and the first thing they ask for is Route 11 chips. And I know it's funny, but people have their attachments to food, we love hearing the stories. But people are finding out. I think that the consumers are more on a mission than ever to find out more about their food, and that's what gives me hope, you know, about the future of food and farming.